And we're live. Good morning. Good morning. Long night last night. Let's get some coffee going. Long day yesterday. I'm not 100% certain I like this yet, but it seems to be working well. Hey, Joe. Good morning. How are you? We're going to wrap up just taking stuff off the runners on the Melusine and then bagging it. Bagging it, boxing it, whatever it is. Ow. I'm okay. Yeah. How was your Sunday, my friend? Mine, I'll fill you in a little bit. Mine had its challenges, shall we say. Unexpected. Saturday was okay. Yeah. Sunday, yeah, kind of that same camp. Sunday was okay. Well, that's good. Did you do anything extra special and fun? Hey, Edwin, good evening. Sorry, I'm just clearing out the bags so I can recycle them. Let's get... She's crazy. My friend came out to hang. We had breakfast casserole for brunch. Oh, that sounds yummy. Good evening, Edwin. We'll work on that in a few. I'm just going to do some cleanup work right now, so we'll go from there. And then I will say one of the things I guess I kind of appreciate in an old school kind of fashion is when they continue to staple bags rather than heat seal them. It's an interesting concept. You know, I still see on the in a lot of the packaging I get from Japanese products that the packages are stapled. Okay. So I didn't want to do that. One. Making these sales are actually working out and looking good. Also throwing a bunch of paint on. Oh, that's good. Sounds like it was a productive day then, Joe. I love it. I love it. I did work, and I'll show it in a little bit when we get a few more people popping in. I'll show the work that I did yesterday on, not as much, the work I did yesterday on the bat plane base. I think last week I was commenting on these are, I mean, you want the Ma.K kits, if for nothing else, you want them for their water slides. I love their water slides. They're just so cool. Interesting. Set those aside there for a second. Good evening, Joe. We watched Tremors 90s movie. Talk about practical effects. Really? Was that the one with Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon? Wow. That is going back a bit. Yeah, wow. Groovy. Love that. I don't know why I'm spacing out on it, but there is an Alfred Hitchcock film. First of all, practical effects are great. I love, how people were able to do certain things with so little. And I use that term loosely, right? Let me get my nub jar here. Think back to like what's a good example, like Aliens, the second film, right? And the stuff that they couldn't afford to do that they couldn't afford to do. For example, the scene where after Ripley has been rescued and she's in the floating hospital, that entire pan is nothing more than moving models, parts of a model, and background painting, and it's just one shot. They did it in a very simple fashion in order to keep the effect going. It's fascinating to see, right? I think we're just gonna empty all this stuff out. Give me a second here, guys. No idea. Hey, Tom. Good morning. Just like the graboid going through the gram, it was buried 2 to 4 with a rug stapled on it and pulled under. Exactly, stuff like that. That if we think about the the amount of effort that now goes into making a movie versus the simplicity of a lot of our special effects and what was being done back in the day. There we go. First time had no volume. Hey, all right. Welcome back, Nick. Tom, good morning. So again, the aliens example is a good one. Joe, exactly like what you said, which is basically just burying a rug, right? And just kind of causing, and how you cut and edit it is huge. That you actually had to think about how you did shots. In this Hitchcock film, they had to time it perfectly. There's a scene in which a plane crashes in water, and they obviously they got the view of the pilots looking out at the ocean. So you've got the camera kind of right behind the two, the pilot and the co-pilot, and the plane is hitting the water. And as they hit the water, this wall of water smashes through the cockpit windows and kind of showers everybody with water. Think about back in the day how they had to do that. And they literally had a big funnel, and the screen was, the windshield was a screen, and they had to time it perfectly. So as soon as that plane hit the water from that funnel was supposed to come through and shoot through that screen. That timing is unbelievable. We're talking about movie effects. We are. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go into some modeling related stuff. This morning, I'm basically breaking down the Melusine box, getting rid of it, and getting rid of all the runners and everything like that. 2001: Space Odyssey was double shot on the main negative and never developed the film until done. Yeah, all of that stuff. When I was in college, we did, I did some practical effects like stop motion animation on a Gundam, just to kind of, just to test it out because I wanted to do it. But special effects, yeah, there's something really special about them, right? Okay, these are all ready to recycle. I'm saving this one. I'm just putting the spare parts, getting rid of runners, bags, bottom of the box, and just hiding everything. Excuse me. I'd have loved to work in the miniature industry for movies. Old school movie effects were the best. I'm not sure if they were the best, because if you take a look to see, for example, like some of the effects that we're seeing today, the effects are fabulous. But I think we have a loss in what we could do. Think about Indiana Jones, the first Indiana Jones film, Temple of try again. Raiders of the Lost Ark, with all of the effects at the end of the film, all of that. But I would agree, it would have been a good time to kind of like party and hang out. As much as I think a lot of it became a big commercial for ILM, the Disney ILM doc on how a lot of that stuff was done until they got to their, even what they're doing today is pretty spectacular. But when you think about the work that was done back in the day, man, it's amazing how things have come. Old school movie effects were the best, right? Don't think he is on any other sites, though. I'm sorry, what's that? Everything is done on a computer with a green screen. Can't walk away from an explosion like a badass anymore. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, 100%, Nick. It's very different. Because you can not only do it in a way that's more bombastic, but you can do it in a way that's also cheaper. And frankly, with a lot less thought. I want an explosion here, here, and here. There you go. How does that look? Great. I don't know if anybody has ever seen it, but there are commercially available special effects packages that you can buy for like $100. So you can shoot your own little movie and have like helicopters zip on by, bombs going off, everything like that, which is cool. And at the same time, that's all it takes. In some ways, it could be rather interesting in terms of the democratization of movie making. Could also mean that people are going to be making a lot, then they're going to focus more on the special effects and less on storytelling, and that could be bad. But yeah, Nick, I think we're all talking the same game. There's something special that is now gone with that level of movie making. Checking this runner, making sure I'm not missing anything. Nope. Okay, I'm going to work on this Panzerfaust in a little bit. While we work on that now. So let's see. The guy in Skillscriber Canadian only posts on FB and IG, which means you don't see it. That could be. But he's working on a 172nd space shuttle, and he is making a super. Is that the guy who's like scratch building the space shuttle and has been doing that for a few years? I know of that model. I've actually heard a number of very good interviews. It is pretty impressive. Yeah, like he is literally making scale the important thing. No, not scratch building. Are you sure? I thought he was. Maybe I'm wrong. There's somebody who is scratch building a space shuttle to the absolutely nth degree. He's using a monogram 172nd. Oh, interesting. Okay. I might, maybe we're talking the same guy, maybe we're talking a different guy. I apologize. Thank you. I will scale scriber. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, not gonna lie, being off of social media, all of it, including Blue Sky, has been it's been nice. So yesterday was a good, bad, and an ugly kind of day. The good was watching the Tour de France, which is fabulous. Might as well be scratch built, did space kit, but major modifications on every part. Yeah. Yeah, he's describing every single tile. Yeah. Yeah. I think we are talking the same guy. Yesterday was interesting. The Tour de France was fabulous. I'm curious to see now. I mean, guys are already fighting. The GC contenders are already fighting, jockeying for position at the on the second stage. That's great. I think it's going to be a very, very hard fought because you've got four guys who are really in contention with Tadej Pogacar, obviously the favorite, but it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. Even major modifications. And his own clear window as the monogram one isn't accurate. Yeah. Yeah. Gotta tell you, it's that level of work. Yeah, I love it. Let's get rid of this little runner. Let go. Yeah. So the tour was pretty impressive. Now here's the interesting part. We're going to get back to some of the good and bad, and we'll go back to we're going to go to the bad first. So if you ask me right now who won the stage, I believe it was Evenepoel. However, I don't recall. And the reason is, as I'm watching this, I'm having to deal with a couple. I was doing laundry and everything like that, but my older daughter yesterday, she was reffing the Derby. They had a scrimmage yesterday. She was just reffing it, not even just standing still. Skate went down, possibly broke her elbow. So my wife took her to urgent care. They took some X-rays. Everything looked okay. And then a few hours later, she gets a call saying it looks like a fracture and it might be something else is going on there. So go to the emergency room. So at this point, my wife had already left for Maine. So 5 o'clock last night, we're going to the emergency room to have it looked at. And the prognosis right now, yeah, she actually, and the funny thing is she was fully geared. But what happened was she said, and the first thing that they teach them in Derby is how to fall. And she's like, and she's kicking herself because she said, I forgot my training. I slipped and I went to my instinct and I forgot my training. So anyway, so we were there until, I don't know, like 9 o'clock last night. She's going in today to have it looked at. So without putting too fine a point on it, it kind of killed a lot of what I was planning on doing throughout the day. I did get a tad bit of yard work before we got the call of you're going to have to go and have somebody look at it. But anyway, so that was the fun part of yesterday, but and the not inability to really get a whole lot of personal stuff done. But I'm happy to at least say that they've got it wrapped in a splint. Hope it heals fast. Yeah, thanks, Joe. I'm hoping so too. Hurt, but usually just a waited out game. Hope it's nothing more. Yeah. So when I broke my elbow a couple years ago, yeah, there was nothing that was necessary. I kind of kept it in a non-permanent splint. Last night they put her in a permanent in a full splint. It's like a precast, I guess. So she's in that. Ooh, that was close. until they determine today what the next steps are. So she's seeing an orthopedist today. But I remember mine hurt like the dickens, and it kind of like was uncomfortable for a bunch of days. You guys probably remember much of that, but it's now. The funny part is I broke my right one, and this one's fine. Left elbow, picking stuff up, it's like arthritis. My left one's the one that hurts generally. I hope it heals. Like daughter, like father. Yeah, exactly, Joe. Exactly. I'm thankful I haven't fractured anything. Tom, knock on wood right now. May you never be put in that position or have a serious fracture, This is the second time she's broken an arm. So anyway, guys, I appreciate everybody, the well wishes from people. Thank you. So we'll keep an eye on that. But when we got the news, I was watching that she called us and said, "Hey, I think I might have done something to my elbow. I need to go in." So my wife scheduled the urgent care thing. So while we're waiting for her to show up, and while I was watching the tour, I did get to at least mask the background for the bat symbol. So that's what we've got right now. So a comment that I might hear from some people is it doesn't look perfect or anything like that. And in fact, it doesn't have to be, right? Oh, broken bones. Yeah, exactly, Joe. I thank the gallon of milk I drank a week as a kid. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, kind of helps, doesn't it? So we're kind of ready to go. So step number one is going to be hitting this with an extremely thinned out layer of paint. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Thank you, Nick. Thinned out, sort of like almost like this cloud color, but tinted a little bit with a bit of yellow. And then it's just going to be a quick pass, and that's it. Not even to really give it too much darkness. And then, keeping the bat symbol on, I'm going to take the rest of this off, and then feather in the sort of the cloudiness. Maybe even use the paper towel method on some areas in order to give it some of that edginess, which I think gives those cloud effects really a good look. Maybe a clear yellow. Not so much a clear, actually. It's going to be, because I'm just trying to burn through some of my Tamiya paints. I have this lemon yellow, which is actually a good looking color, and then it'll be thinned with probably something like this dark sea gray, which is sort of the lighter color of the of this. I might even go a little bit darker, Nick. I might even go to maybe even add in a little bit of NATO black to that. All I'm looking to do is just to give it a little bit of a yellow or a lightness to it with a yellow tint. Hey, Richie, good morning. It's just kind of the, do I have that here? Yeah. I mean, this is a little extreme now. This is way more than I'd want to do, but you kind of have that kind of an effect going on. This is too dark. That's way too much. I want the clouds to kind of come through a little bit. So that's why the first thing is going to be just giving it like a quick pass to create the general shape, take the outer mask off, do a little bit more, but give it a little bit more of a feathering of the edges. Again, keeping it super thin. Then masking and creating these lines here. Sorry, dyslexia. And then the same process, really thin. Take the mask off, and then just kind of go in, and that's it. In theory, then the bat background should be just dark enough, and if I need to darken it anymore, just to kind of give it, I can just use what they call some kind of a filter on it. So that's the approach that I'll be taking on this. Is it my speakers? Yeah, actually, please let me know if that's speakers or otherwise. I'm not seeing anything crazy going on here with the mic output. Richie, what's going on, brother? Joe, I hear it too. Really? Oops. That is odd because nothing has really changed with the mic. Use a hard edge for the edge template. I'll give you one hard edge and one feathered edge. Nice. It's YouTube. I hear the static as well. So that could be then. Let me see if I can do this. No. That's wild because it's historically not had this problem. So the guy's been working on the shuttle for like 4 years. Oh yeah. Yeah. I think I've known it for a long, long time. Is that the only model he's working on? Because that's kind of crazy. What did I do? Sorry, I'm just getting myself a little lost here. What did I just do with that part? No. Was anything stupid and tossing? No. Oh, anyway, let's cut some more parts off. I'm not going to waste too much time on this. Theoris, I guess, is a good thing. I think he's working on a few, but all in progress. One I saw finish was the F-16, for which they released a magazine about it, I think. Yep. Okay. Cool. So that was, that's kind of been yesterday and where things stand on my side. Yeah. I don't think we need any of these hoses. Or elbowy bits. Even that was a long build, as he is super detailed on it. Yeah. You know, it's interesting. I'm somebody who appreciates a high level of detail on a model. I'm actually enjoying like the plain background. It's like it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to allow for the creation of story. You know, obviously, I want to get as close to getting it to look as good as possible, but there we go. And that is done too. Recycle. There should be. Definitely depends on your end goal. Yep. I agree completely on that. Depends on what you want. Whoops. Not there. There. Habits. I usually toss the nubs into the box. So my hope is tonight is, since Friday is looming, is to get to painting this thing. And if for some reason I F it up, I'll be able to clean it off and start again. One of the like weathering, the hardest part on that is going to be not getting heavy-handed. It's just keep it really, really thin. I'm not looking to have it kind of be very stark. I went and looked at a couple of different bat symbol, sort of like the bat symbol on clouds, and seeing how that effect would look. I'm trying to be accurate. Your details are different than, say, if you're trying to tell a story. In a way, I think you can do both, but it depends on how accurate you want that to be. And I'd rather tell a good story at this point. At the same time, I shouldn't say that. Uh, I like building with a level of accuracy too. Bang. Okay. Okay, there we go. So we got basically another bazooka ready to go. Get that, the hand. Let's work on the head. Yeah, let's get some coffee in me. Also, not gonna lie, it's like today's Monday. It's like really not. I am not in any way, shape, or form motivated to go to work today. Just not. Put a yellow dot on a roof. So the light is coming from. Still have time to run a single. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. I do have time, but I'm not gonna do it. Now it's like with any model. I think from my perspective, it's like I can continue to go down the path of, is there anything else I can do? Is there anything else I can do? I would rather at this point just call this one done. A little yellow dot on top of a roof, that's easy, but anything more than that, probably not. If you're building like an ME262, people will be anal about how accurate it is to be real thing, but if you're building it with imagination, the accuracy is I would actually say, Tom, I don't think it even matters if you're building historically something historical, because if you're building it to tell a story, depends on the story you're trying to tell, even if it's a historical story. Trying to portray. I am motivated to call off work. Yeah, same here. To call off work permanently, frankly. Yeah, really. I'm not lying. I'm just not. Ooh, I gotta tell you, that is just wacky looking. Lotto let me win. Yeah. Anyway, I'm ready to call the news and get a legal team about my job. Oh, really? Ooh, I hope not. I hope it doesn't get that bad yet, Joe. I just want to build models all day with physical exercise spliced in between. I got to tell you, I just I don't even know. I don't even know if it's what I want to do. I mean, look, I want to work on models too, and go off and go to vacations and see parts of the world and the rest of this country and all that crazy stuff. But right now, more important than all that, I just don't want to have the pressure of having to deal with work. Just don't. I'm kind of at the end of it. Let's put it that way. I mean, that's sorry. There we go. That's just like that's a scary look. That's a look that can haunt you in your dreams, your nightmares. G Franco, how you been, George? Zap, what's going on, brother? How's things, Z? It has been a dog's age. Yeesh. Yeesh. That's what I'll say. Yeah. Just working bill model kits. Yeah. That's good. Glad to hear that you're building. What are you working on now? So just kind of sanding the nubs and the mold line on this thing. Yeah, it just for me, it's just again coming back to all I want to do is just not, I don't know. I just want some peace. I'm finding that the older I'm getting, the less I'm able to handle just craziness and stupidity. And I'm not talking about this isn't a political thing. It's just like even the day to day. It's like all I want to do. Honestly, it's like last week was a really busy week of just dance related shit, so it didn't really feel like a vacation. And as much as I enjoyed watching my daughter, just like all that other stuff that kind of went down was like, yeah, that wasn't fun. So, all I'm looking for is just I'm just looking for some. That's like one of the stupidest looking helmets I've ever seen. Look at this thing. I mean, oof. And just dopey looking. Mega size Zaku and Tamiya tanks. Oh, nice. Which tanks are you working on? Mega size. I love it. It is a good thing to build, stop, build something else, stop, return to previous build and stop. Sure. One point you will finish a kit, maybe even like multiple kits. This possible. I'm hoping after I'm done with the bat thing, I'll be able to get back to Misa Hayase, get her all painted, and then finally finish off the SD Macross kit. I don't want to lie. So I can buy enough land to not have to see people, maybe an island. Yeah, Nick, I got to tell you, there's something a little to be said about that. It's just like, I just want some space. I don't even, the funny thing is, I don't even need to buy an island to be away. It's just like, I just need space. A lot of crap. Yeah. Only need 10 million to get your own island. Yeah. Desert Storm 135th scale. Oh, down the creek. Yeah. That does interest. Like I said, I just want to get to maybe not having to go grocery shopping and just, just pay somebody to go do grocery shopping for me. Desert Storm 135th scale. I'm assuming that is an Abrams. Would be for the vacation. Oh, man. Well, from your mouth to God's ears, may that happen for you. We're almost done here. And we will talk a little bit about what the next model will be. And campgrounds, I make a house at each one and travel across the country. Yeah. If you're far enough south, you can always moat with alligators. That is true. You can. Or just get arrested for being an illegal and being tossed in. Yeah. Let's not even go there today. Would rather plant my own food than have it shipped. Oh, I'm not talking about shipped, but I would probably agree. I've talked about this before. One of the things I'm actually looking forward to for retirement is actually doing some gardening. So the happiest people also always farm their own food. Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. I can absolutely see that. There we go. Looks like some extremely large helmet. I mean, that is like awful looking. Like this reminds me of like some 50s flight helmet. Now, and I know that that's the look that they're going for. Crazy look. Grow as much of our own food as we can. Yeah, do you, Nick? Yeah, I know when you and Ken get into convos about a lot of that, and Mike as well, I guess. Actually, Ray, you can weaponize anything in nature. The legal stance on guard dogs has even changed. All right. I'm going to cut the mask off. This, if memory serves, is supposed to be glued into place. If you want it on. Yeah, because there's nothing there holding it in place otherwise. Yeah, people give gifts of food to each other, and they are happy about it. Yes, of course. You ask him about the helmet, he would know. That's about food, maybe less about the helmet. I thought about raising a few chickens for eggs. If you build the moat, they will come. That has very much of a dystopian feel to it. All right. Just gonna drop the mask on his face just to see what it looks like. Can't even get it to fit well. There it goes. Interesting, but I'll probably not use it. I'm not even sure I'm going to use this figure. I might just close this whole thing up and not worry about the interior. Haven't figured it out yet. But we got all that figured out, sussed out. Last runner is done. And this guy is ready to go into the bag. If you build the moat, they will come. God. And I don't know why, but as soon as I saw that, my first reaction is, man, that sounds awfully Walking Dead-ish. It's not an alligator pit. It's a rainwater runoff collection spot. Oh, man. You say tomato. I say tomato. Funny. All right, my friends. Let's see where things go with the plane tonight. Hopefully, I'll get to some masking on that. My motivation on the freebie Gundam has kind of stopped a little bit until I can figure out what I'm going to do with the heads. I could, of course, continue to work on this Zaku head and just kind of get some of this bottom shit done. I don't except just right now, my motivation just took a shitter. So, but the Melusine is done. I could get back to assembling. Let's see, the T3485 from Flyhawk. Started it a while ago. Could get back to it. Later, fellas. Later, Nick. Have a good one, brother. Need a massive paint booth. I or you? Harpy? Harpy's not going to be for a while. I got to get motivated to get back to that model. You know, and I got plenty of stuff. I actually do want to get back to the stuff that's, you know, sitting underneath here because I need to get it done. Hey, later, Space Ones. Have a great day. Joe, you too, brother. All right, guys, stay safe and stay sane. Thanks for being on this morning, and I appreciate all of the just all the conversation. Trust me, the day kind of started off like shit, and I feel a lot better now. And that all comes down to you guys. Every day, you guys just make things just a smidge better when, you know, especially when I'm just not feeling 100%. So it's greatly appreciated. Guys, go out there and do good. Brighten the world as much as you possibly can. Make it a good planet, not a shitty planet. Just brighten the day for somebody, just like you did here. Go out there and do it again. With that, I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Enjoy the day, guys. Love you all, and I'll catch you on the flip. Peace.